Hello everyone, welcome back to the Nora Show. I am so excited to be here. I haven't filmed in a very long time and I have missed this so much. I have had the weirdest year, genuinely weirdest year, and it was not the one that I was expecting in the least. Like, everything is actually just fine and everything's okay. It was just weird and unexpected and very disruptive to the life I'm trying to live. I was not expecting a hysterectomy this year. I was not expecting my husband to have shoulder surgery this year. I was not expecting to have a 4-week occipital migraine this year. I was not expecting it to be November already. It's November. Oh my. I have been a capsule wardrobe fan for a very long time. I don't have a huge closet. I don't have the best executive decision making when it comes to being awake and going into a closet and having to choose an outfit. I really have done well with having a lot of basics in my life and a very targeted look. I do a really good job with color themes, where we have a purse that goes with everything, where I have a coat that really does well for the majority of the wardrobe, that my sweater goes with everything, that the shoes are really comfortable and some of my favorites, and they match almost everything that I have. The idea of a capsule wardrobe is to reduce your stress. If a capsule wardrobe increases your stress because you don't have enough options, this is a bad system for you and you shouldn't do it. Within the idea of having a capsule wardrobe is that you respect the seasons and that certain items are literally pulled out of your closet and you don't see it until you need it again, let's say in the summer. So it's November, like I said, surprise, which means that this is about a month after when I usually flip my closet, as I call it, where I go from summer to winter. Now I have distinct seasons where I am. I absolutely have a fall and a spring, and what happens there is usually a increase of winter wardrobe and into the closet, or an increase of summer clothing into the winter wardrobe. And then at some point I realized, okay, my closet's too full. Pull the wrong season, give myself some room, let me pull back and forth. I don't like pulling on my clothing. It's rough on the clothing for one. You can't see everything. And I always end up losing things. So I like having a little, I do not want to have to shove my clothing into the closet. I want to be able to easily get into it. So whenever I get an overload, I know that it's time for a seasonal change. In the process of this year's seasonal change, I realized I had something really cool happen that I was actually rather unaware of. I had really big goals for sewing this year that did not happen. So I'm actually incredibly surprised that I have this behind me, which I know you're looking at this dress going, why am I looking at this dress again? The reason why we're looking at this dress again is because this is where it all started. I wasn't happy with it. I didn't like it. I didn't like the result, and I don't like particularly wearing it. It feels weirdly juvenile to me, and I don't like the way it hangs. I don't like the material. This was not the right project for this material, and I feel like because of this mistake, I was able to go, oh, fabric choice is actually a massive big deal here. I cannot continue to use cotton and expect daytime dressy dress results. So this was a major aha moment for me. This is not part of my capsule wardrobe for a summer-based, and I mean summer, hot, sleeveless-based, capsuled 1920s. Let's go for 1925, give or take. So let's toss this dress out. So what we are looking at is the beginnings, a rudimentary beginning of a capsule wardrobe for the mid-1920s in summertime, hot summer, which all of us seem to have at this point, so I don't think that's really a problem. Okay, granted, it is November. I might be a little cold right now sitting in my house like this, so we better wrap this one up so I can get some warm clothing on, because all of this, crazy enough, I've pulled it all together just to go into a closet downstairs until it gets hot again. So this is a summary concept, and the goal of this is to, in fact, get out a piece of paper and write down any accessories, clothing, purse, hat, anything, okay? And clothing items that I would hypothetically want to add to this to really flesh out this concept of a capsule wardrobe. So let's begin. First off, let's take a look at the dress that I'm actually wearing. You haven't seen it before. It was one of my quickie sews, and it sort of got compressed in between a couple of major events, so I never got around to filming it. As you can see, this is a very simple design. This is a sheath dress gathered at the hips with most of the blousing pushed forward. My personal favorite part is the back neck. I love the way that lands. The mistake on this dress is that the shoulder in the back, I don't think I quite lined that up the way I was supposed to. What I really need to do is make a note that I am supposed to redo the shoulders on this, because if I pulled in the out part of this and tucked it in a little bit more, this would actually lay flat and it would look spectacular. I'm not sure what we want to call this, but I'm going to call it a hip cape. Now this hip cape, it is lined with the lining on the inside of the dress as well. So if you happen to see the inside of my dress, it will match. Let's do this one next. This one is my personal absolute favorite dress that I made this year. I love its fit. I love the shoulders. I love the tie. I love wearing it. It flounces, it moves. It is so much fun to dance in, which I have gotten to do. I love how the layers are separate and will move separate from each other. I love the lace detail. I think it weighs down the flounces enough to really accentuate the movement. And this is just a fantastic dress. And if you notice, it also is lined with that red silk chiffon fabric again. I had a lot of it, so I used it. Now this is important when we get to accessories, so just remember that. This next dress is another favorite of mine, simply because it's the first dress that I've ever done where I didn't have directions on how to draft it, so I didn't have a pattern, and then I had to create a pattern. This is a huge point of pride for me. I've never done that before, and it was fun and it was doable. I would say that this is a fancier dress and more of an evening style than not, but still very much in line with warm, hot evenings. This is the dress that taught me the importance of anchoring heavy parts of a dress. Had this flounce part been a chiffon or a lightweight silk, anything gauzy and lightweight, the material is so heavy on this side that it pulls down. I have resorted to safety pinning the inside of the dress to my undergarments in order to keep this from pulling too far down. It messes with the neckline and pulls the sleeve over, and then all of a sudden everything is just wonky. So this dress does have some issues, but they are manageable. Plus the material is absolutely fantastic, and I love this dress. This is the one dress that is outside of the color range for this building of a capsule wardrobe. However, this dress was created because I had a pair of shoes that didn't have anything to go with it. This dress justifies the existence of these shoes in my closet. What I have found to be essential to a solid capsule wardrobe, the detail that makes the capsule wardrobe really work for me And I have a feeling that this is not something that is universal for all people creating a capsule wardrobe. I need shoes and accessories and purse, especially the purse, to be a universal approach for everything that I have. Let's start with the purse. This is my purse. It has my sunglasses, it has my phone, it has a wallet, it has all of the lipstick, the emergency things like keys. Those are big, they are heavy. This contains it all. It can also handle a water bottle, a coffee, a book, a laptop and things like that, because the truth is that this is the era that I live in. I live in 2022, and just because I look like this and maybe I want to go to the grocery store doesn't mean that this is going to work. In fact, this is really not going to work. This is for when I'm standing and posing. When I have gone somewhere that the only responsibility I have is to stand there. Because without my car keys, I want to know how I got there. Without a wallet, I want to know who's paying for it. And without my cell phone, I better have someone there that knows. So these purses are adorable. They're beautiful. Are they functional? Outside of an event that you have a friend that drove you and has your cell phone. Outside of that, I'm not seeing how this is useful, which means that my capsule wardrobe for 1920 needs to have at least one modern element to it, and that's going to be my purse. So why did I choose this? Because it goes with the mass majority of my dresses, all except for this one. This doesn't go. This is bad. No. Haven't figured this one out yet. So now it's time to create a list of the things that I don't have that would fill this capsule wardrobe out on a beautiful level. I have a feeling that part of this is a purchase list and not a make list, and part of this is a make list. But I don't have a list at all, and that's a problem, because without a list, I don't know what I'm doing. The goal being that by May of 2023, I will have filled out this into a full concept of a vintage capsule, mid-1920s capsule wardrobe. I think I said capsule twice. I really mean it. What does this blue dress need? This blue dress needs a purse, a hat, and I'd like to upgrade the pearls. I'd like real pearls, and I think I'd like them actually 1920s vintage, if at all possible. I know they exist. They're on eBay everywhere. They don't need to be in perfect condition. I just like giving new life to old jewelry, and that's just fun. Purse, pearls, hat. That's not much. We're gonna start with this dress, and we're gonna note some coloring. We've got a pale pink. We're gonna see the lining. We have green. Let's move over to the next dress. We have a comparable red. We still have green. Now moving out. Then let's move out to the next dress. We have a pale pink again. We have the dusky red rose again. This one does not have any green. But these three all can handle the same shoe and accessories and the purse. So what I think that would work really well here is one hat, and I think I want a little bit of maybe a butterfly wrap made out of a lightweight silk that is more of a fashion statement than for warmth. I have one pair of silk stockings and another pair. One is pink and white, one is a white ivory. It works perfect with the dresses that I have. So these two, that takes care of the stockings. These are my, I would say probably 1980s. I'm not sure. They're costume jewelry. I would love to upgrade this to a real set of much nicer long pearls. As it is, this is the one that I've chosen to wear. They're incredibly heavy. They feel like, they are incredibly heavy. I really like them. And since they are that red and I do have it, this is what I've chosen to use. Is the hat for the dress that we don't care about anymore. I have a pair of gloves and another pair of gloves. I also have one hair accessory. No, it's not out of that time period, but again, it goes really well, and I really like putting it on the back of my hair right above the bobby pins where I make the bob. And let's talk rings real quick. They're modern, but the pearls make me happy. This one looks like I could destroy someone, and I love that. Oh, and there's my nails of the week. Okay, I've done a ton of costume changes today. My hair's a little fluffy now. I've got a couple of bobby pins that are poking me in the back of the head, but it was worth it because as of right now, I feel like I proved to myself that no, I've got a base. I have a base that I can work with. I have like 5 dresses total. This is not a true capsule wardrobe. This is the base to work with and to grow upon. And it's really cohesive right now. So this is an easy thing to build on. So using the experiences that I have had in building capsule wardrobes, I know that color coordination, where you pick a main theme color, is probably the most useful thing that you can do through the building of this, because then everything matches. Which leads me to think that the blue dress needs to be an outlier. It is okay to have outliers in your capsule wardrobe, but don't try to link the outlier to the other thing if that's not the color match that you want. And I don't think it is. So looking at this, I think that would be the most appropriate thing to then build upon this and add to this. I need a couple of skirts and shirts that all go matchy-matchy together. A lightweight suit would be very appropriate. If I did 3 skirts and 3 tops alone, I can guarantee you that whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm covered for a solid 7 days, 10 days with events. Now, the one thing that I don't entirely have is a super evening dress, dressy dress, evening gown. And you may be thinking, well, what about that black one? 1937. That's not it. That's not it. So that doesn't count. When I do the 30s, we can bring that back, but right now that needs to go away. I think that I can legitimately shut down my summer wardrobe, acknowledge that it is November, and that I am currently freezing. So I am going to find some warm clothing. Go do some art, people. Go be happy.